Hello, my name is Alexia Shepherd, and get ready because you're about to chat with Alexia. We have got to talk about this. If you're new here, this is the series where I do my makeup and you and I talk about anything and everything. So today I actually was unsure about what I should talk about. I feel like I've covered a lot of bases on here, and low-key I feel like I'm running out of ideas. I've gotten a lot of requests to talk about true crime again. The people that watch my videos like really enjoyed the true crime because it was like a story kind of element, and I do plan on doing one of those. I just want to make sure it's one that like, I don't want to do one that's too popular yet because I like to introduce you guys to new cases that you might have never heard of. Also, if you can hear that water sound, that is the laundry room. I apologize. I thought we could do another entertainment one. And the show that I have been obsessed with is Insecure. If you haven't seen Insecure, I beg everybody that I know to go watch it, and don't watch this video because it's spoilers for all 4 seasons. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and click out. But for those of us that have, before we get started, I just want to remind you that you can find me on Instagram at Alexia Shep, on Twitter at Alexia Shep, and on TikTok as Alexia Shep, because who doesn't love TikTok? All right, so let's get into it. So I first saw Insecure, I think like some point last year. It was not that long ago. Honestly, I think it was right after season 3 finished, I started watching it. And I already have a love for HBO shows. Ironically, I feel like the first thing that probably comes to someone's mind is like Game of Thrones. Like, I haven't seen that. Please don't kill me. I've never seen Game of Thrones. If I'm not mistaken, it has like a gore element, and that's just not my judge. Like, it's not my thing. I do, however, love Sex and the City. Sex and the City, which, now that I'm thinking about it, we should definitely do a chatting with Alexia on Sex and the City. I also love Big Love. If you've ever seen Big Love about polygamy, it is so good. It's a scripted series. It's so good. It has some really good actors. HBO knows how to cast, I'll tell you that. When I heard of Insecure, I was like, oh, I really want to watch it, because Issa Rae was getting bigger and bigger like every year. Like, when Insecure first came out, like I told you guys this, I think. When I get obsessed with something, I like dig deep. I like to know everything about that thing. So I dug when it comes to Insecure, and the first season did not have that many viewers, but then it literally like tripled in viewers by the second season, because Issa Rae is just talented. Like, she's talented, and part of it was that meme of her going, or not a meme, but just like a motto of her at the Emmys, and she's like, I'm rooting for everybody black. I know, I remember that. I didn't know who she was at that point though. I just knew the quote, which I need to make a shirt out of that. Maybe that'll be my next cricket video. I haven't made a cricket video in a while, but she is so funny. She's quickly become one of my new idols. So Insecure was already appealing to me because I like HBO. And guys, when I tell you, it is one of the best shows on television. Even like the first season, which first season of TV shows, if you don't know, are very slow. It takes a lot to get in the first season. The only real exception is that show Freaks and Geeks that only had 1 season that was really good. I'm telling you guys, like, the first seasons of shows, if you think about it. Think about the shows that you love. The first season probably isn't that great. It's good, I'm sure, because the first season of Insecure is really good. But even in like first season standards, like, it is amazing. And like, immediately, okay, this is like the main point I wanted to talk about when I talk about Insecure. So if you don't know, if you still watch this, you don't have an intention on watching Insecure, first of all, I implore you, please go watch it. Like, that show is so good. First of all, it's just a black show. You know what I mean? Like, I like it because it doesn't generalize the black experience either. Like, there's more than one black experience on the show, but overall it's black. Like, if you don't know, most of the cast is black women. So it's like Issa, and her character is named after herself. So it's Issa as Issa. Molly, Kelly, Tiffany, and like, there's so many black women on the show. And before, when I would watch TV, I could see myself in maybe like 1 or 2 characters, not even because they were black. Like, for example, Sex and the City, I see myself as Samantha. That's like the one that I relate the most to. But when Insecure, when I was watching, I was like, oh, I can see myself as Issa because Issa's like awkward and she loves to freestyle rap. I will say, I feel like her raps get worse as the seasons go on. Like one of her raps, I remember being like, dang girl, get in there. But then as the season's going, I'm like, girl, and I don't think maybe she rapped once in season 4. I don't remember it, but she's gotten away from the rapping. She's silly. She makes jokes. Like, I say that like this stuff is a basic thing, but I can see myself in her. And then, avalanche. Sorry, y'all, if we're in a little bit of a different position. That tripod was not feeling me today. Like, literally, I almost died in front of your eyes. But like Molly, she's Issa's best friend. She is very type A, which I can't relate to. I'm not that type A, but she also just has this idea of how her life should turn out, and I can relate to that as well. So it was like I could see myself in more than like in most of the characters on the show, and like I could see my like friends and family in them. Not that I couldn't in other shows, but Insecure, it's just different. One thing I do love about Insecure is, which, okay, we have entered an age, you guys, where we're seeing many more female anti-heroes, right? Not even anti-heroes, just, I don't know how to define it though, because they're not, the thin line between good and bad is like, it's now just a gray area, you know what I mean? So like Issa, I'm telling y'all spoilers, Issa cheats on Lawrence, her boyfriend, her like very long-term boyfriend in season 1, because the relationship isn't really fulfilling anything for her anymore. And I'm not saying the cheating was justified. Like, I hate cheating more than anything on the world, but the way they did it is they didn't make her look guilty for cheating, but they didn't make her look innocent either. Like, anyone who watched that first season, like, let me know. I was like, oh, Issa's kind of trash, but like, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, Lawrence is such a nice guy, and Lawrence has like a band of followers called the Lawrence Hive, like the Beehive, but for Lawrence, because he is quintessentially a good guy. He has his moments. Like, there's that part where that girl, Tasha, I feel bad, I should remember her name. I think her name is Tasha, but right after him and Issa break up, he like dates this girl, She invites him to her family's like cookout or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I'll go, and then he ends up ditching it to go like drink with his coworkers, and she literally calls him, I can't cuss right now, there's children present, but she basically in a more colorful language says, you're a bad guy that thinks he's a decent guy, which is worse than just being a bad guy overall. Which, girl, she's got a point. But I still love Lawrence. I'm still Team Lawrence. And speaking of, y'all, season 4 is the best season of Insecure. Mainly because the storylines, and I love Molly and Andrew's relationship. I ship them so hard, but Molly was making it so difficult in season 4 to root for her. I don't know what was going on with her. I feel like she's the type of girl that when she gets in a relationship, she genuinely doesn't know how to balance anything else, including her relationship. It was like she just like, and I hate saying this about girls because like girls get this reputation all the time that's like, oh my god, it's always something. Like, it's always something with girls. It is when it's justified. I felt like Molly was not justified in most of her actions this season. When she got mad at Issa for reaching out to Andrew, who Andrew's like a music producer, to get a headliner for her block party, I was like, Molly, like, because Molly was like, keep me out of it, it's my relationship, and Issa's like, okay. And later on, it's like revealed that she went to Andrew instead of going to Molly. And I don't see the problem. Like, I don't see the problem. And it just seems like Molly, she just has this like complex that like, she's never wrong, which I was so glad when she got back into therapy, child. Can we talk about that? Also, Dr. Rhonda, dream therapist. That therapist office is everything. Like, when I'm like fully graduated, like I still have one more class to take, but when I'm fully graduated and I can't use my university therapist anymore, I'm for sure getting a black woman therapist, because she's like, nobody understands like your peeps, you know what I'm saying? I have this W7, it's a Naked Heat dupe called Blazin'. Oh my gosh, How cute are these colors? It is a little chalky. You know how when you get like off-brand eyeshadow, it can be like chalky and chunky. It is that, but it kind of has a good amount of willpower in there. Like, she doesn't really let me get away with a lot, you know? But yeah, Molly was on one this season, you guys. Like, and I usually love Molly. Like Molly is difficult, but I love her. And I was so glad that they ended the season with them like talking it out, because like I don't think I could handle the show if Issa and Molly aren't friends, because like, you know, they have the friend group of Kelly, Tiffany, Molly, and Issa. But Kelly, and you can tell like in a group of 4 there's always like 2 and 2 that are closer. Like in the Cheetah Girls, it was Galleria and Chanel, and then Doe and Aqua, you know what I mean? But they're all friends. So in the Insecure friend group, it's like Kelly and Tiffany are closer, and then Issa and Molly are like thick as thieves, you know? Which also this season they had revealed that Tiffany's not in the group chat. That is so disrespectful. Like, that is disrespectful. I would be furious. Like, literally, genuinely upset. Obviously, there's gonna be, like, sectors of a group, like I was saying. And let me know, you guys, like, do you guys have those friend groups where it, like, breaks off 2 and 2? Or do you genuinely feel like it's all equal? Like, everybody is equally each other's friend? Because I just know that that's not, like, as much as we want to live in that world, that's not the world we live in. Even in fiction. And then there's the main struggle that I had with this season of Insecure, which is the reveal at the end of the season. So, okay, let me paint the picture. Let me paint the picture for those of you that haven't seen it. So, season 4 of Insecure, Issa, before this season, really did not have her life together. She very abruptly quit her job because she wasn't happy in it, which is like all power to you. But she did so before finding a new little gig, which is real, but she was struggling and not really knowing what to do. But then they go to Coachella season 3, which that episode does go down in history as one of the best episodes of Insecure. Honestly, I think it's my favorite episode, even though season 4 collectively is a better season. So then she ends up meeting one of Tiffany's friends named Condola, and she's like, I have this idea, and Condola's like, I run events, like I can help you, we can work together. And the thing is, Condola's like, I have this guy, like I met him, like I like him. And Issa's like, yay, like I'm so excited to meet him. And it's Lawrence, girl, it was Lawrence. It's crazy. So as season 4 goes on, if you're watching this, you've probably seen it. I'm still just gonna cover all my bases just in case. As the season goes on, Condola and Lawrence have these problems, right? And they end up breaking up, to which he and Issa reconnect and get back together. Now the gag of the season was in the very last episode. Issa and Lawrence are doing great, right? Lawrence just got a new job in San Fran. Issa was considering moving up there because, like, let's be real, like what did she have left in LA? She didn't really have anything, and I felt like she could have started a cool new life. But for me, like, that's just a lot. Like, I know y'all have history and everything, but y'all just got back together and you're like, I'm gonna move to San Francisco. Like, girl, calm. They're on the right track, and all of a sudden Lawrence comes home one day and he's like, so I saw Condola last night. And immediately I was like, he fucked her. Like they hooked up. Issa and Lawrence are over, like, way to end the season. Yes. Not yes, but like, of course, like they would do like a twist like that. And literally when they revealed that Condola was pregnant, I gagged. I literally was like, that was the last thing I was expecting, y'all. Like, I thought that when she left the show, like, we didn't see her anymore. I thought she was gonna forget for real. Insecure really knows how to, like, troll somebody. Like, they will troll you. I thought she's gonna forget, and nope, they said, y'all, she's having a baby child. And if you're my friend and you're watching this and you watch Insecure, like, please hit me up. Like, I need to talk this out. I've been listening to the podcast, the Insecurity podcast. If you haven't heard it and you like Insecure, y'all, that podcast is so good. It's like the official one. Like, it's endorsed by HBO. It's so good. It seems like a very personal one. Like, you can tell they actually like the show, you know what I mean? It's so good and so well done. And just like, there's no, like, which I don't mind when a podcast has segments, but there's like no segments. I don't even think there's commercials, because literally I think HBO sponsors them. But I need to, like, actually talk out the season with somebody that's seen it, like, in person, because I'm dying. And because of the pandemic and everything. Like, I know that they're writing season 5 because Issa posted like a picture of them in like a Zoom meeting, like writing season 5. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. But at the same time, I'm like, ugh, it's gonna take forever to get that on. And also, okay, I was wondering, you guys, the shows that are currently airing, right, that have new seasons that will come after this pandemic, are they gonna write the pandemic in the show? I think they should. I think it's something that, because you know how like a lot of shows either get a lot of flack for not doing a 9/11 episode or not acknowledging it, or people understand why they didn't do it. Like, I'm one of the people that I understand, because usually what happened after 9/11, it was like a subtle nod in those New York shows. So like Sex and the City, I'll bring that up again. They did an episode called I Love New York. I believe it was the season 4 finale, if I'm not mistaken. Season 3, season 4. Maybe even season 5. I think it was season 4 though. They did a show on I Love New York and like displayed the city and just like had this like, it had like an overall tone of like, we acknowledge what happened and we're very sad. With this, I think we can do a flat out just like pandemic thing. I think it's not so sacred to where we can't just like be like, yeah, we're in quarantine. And I would like to see those characters in quarantine. Like, I would love to see that. To see like Molly in quarantine, or like Derek and Tiffany in quarantine, especially after what happened, y'all. The last episode with Tiffany's storyline, oh my God, how did I forget to include that? I feel like me and like the rest of the world have this kind of like the rest of the world that like hasn't seen postpartum depression has this kind of idea of what it is. And I thought it was just like a woman has a baby and she doesn't feel as happy as like the world projects her to feel. Like, you should feel like over the moon, and she's like stressed and she's just like very sad. I didn't think it could get this bad. Tiffany literally runs away from home. She literally runs away. She like gets a hotel room. It's crazy. It's not crazy as in like she's crazy, but it was just wild because I was like, it can get that bad? Like, I truly didn't know. And if Insecure like hadn't done that, I would have never known that it could get that bad. Like, I don't have kids or anything, and I don't really know anyone in my life that I know of that has gone through something like that. So to see that was like very jarring, but in the best way possible. Like, it really educated me. And that's what I like about Insecure. It really educates you about a lot. And it's funny because the music also is so good, and I consider that an education, because that music, that soundtrack is amazing. It rivals like a movie sound. You know how like movies, like if a movie's music is really good, like it goes down in history. Like your music was good. Also did my lips before my cheeks, very weird. Like, you know, like you're like, yes, like the music and the quality of the plot and like characters, it just is all so good. Like, it's so good. I love that show. And HBO shows like this, like shows like Girls, which I like Girls. I don't love Girls. I like Girls. Sex and the City, they usually have 6-season runs. I like it because it gives a show like a cutting stop point, which it's dangerous to just keep a show going for a long time with no direction. But if they like have the direction, I want this show to go on as long as possible. I don't want it to get like crazy. Like, I don't want it to be like weird and like not as good anymore. But I would love to have Insecure going. And also the shows within the shows, looking for latoya, I was invested. Like, it was funny, but then it had a tinge of truth. And SZA was latoya. And I wondered how that worked out, because SZA exists in the Insecure universe. Like, when they go to Coachella, Issa's like, oh my God, like we're here in time to see SZA. And then in like season 1 or 2, that guy Molly's dating, he's like really, I think it's season 2, the like stockbroker or whoever, she like wasn't into him, is like, I have tickets for SZA. So I'm like, were they just like, wow, latoya, you just like a lot like SZA? Like, has anyone ever told you look like SZA? Like, it was so funny. And like, if you haven't seen the Looking for Latoya like full special on YouTube and you saw season 4, you need to watch it, because it is so funny. Like, it is so funny. Honestly, y'all, like my dream person to work with is Issa Rae, for real, because I really like her. I relate to her a lot. I see myself as the person that she used to be, and I aspire to be who she is now. That makes sense? She's just phenomenal. Also, I use the same gloss in every video. I'm always like, shake it up, Alexia. But yeah, if you haven't seen Insecure, please watch it on HBO. Like, it is so good. It's definitely an adult show, so if you're younger than 18, you should not be watching it. But if you are an adult, please watch it. Like black, white, whoever, like it's great. But thank you guys for watching today. I had a lot of fun. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please join the flock. We love ya. We'd love to have ya. Remember, you're a doll and shepherds are led by the stars. I'll see you in my next video.